Hey there, infinite beings. Katie here, bringing you love, light, healing, and ascension awareness. Today, I want to talk about 3 ways to know that you are not honoring yourself. The 3 ways that I'm going to talk about actually perfectly fit up into my ideal of mind, body, spirit. Now, there's many ways to tell that you're not honoring yourself. At least in my eyes, I feel like there's many warning signs that we can get. And I advise anybody to intuitively tap into what they're feeling through meditation and through stillness to just sort of check in with yourself and see what maybe your ways are, because I'm sure that you can find lots of other ways to find out how you are not honoring yourself. For me, a lot of the ways that I've found out, I don't know about you guys, but it's been through the most difficult of ways. I always seem to want to take the hard road and find things out, and then it's like through process of elimination, oh yeah, don't like that, don't want to do that. And then I find out the places where I do want to be at. So the first way I'm going to talk about is through my physicality, physically. I have a personal story with that. So I actually have been working on my health in the past couple years because my body was giving me a lot of signs of not being healthy, and I really couldn't figure it out. I was tired all the time. I still deal with the fatigue stuff, but that's something that's a work in progress. And I find that the more I fall into alignment, the more energy that I'm able to have and that I'm able to cultivate. But my nails weren't growing, my hair wasn't growing, and it ended up being not something so serious. It was my thyroid. And once I was able to start regulating that, things have started to fall into, like I said, alignment, and I'm able to better feel what it is that my body needs. But it was crazy because for a long time, I knew that I was off, and I sort of just like putting off the going and finding out exactly what it was that was going on with me. And so, that was a good way for me to tell that I wasn't honoring myself, because it's like, what was I fearful of? Fearful of finding out, anything really, but like, what can I do to help get myself into alignment and to honor myself if I'm not caring about my being, if I'm not listening to the warning signs that it's giving me when it's crying out like, hey, I need help? Because those are what those are, those little subtleties, those things, that the physicalities that come out that tell me when I need to take time to go find out what it is that's going on with me. And it doesn't always have to be as serious as going to the doctor or anything like that. Maybe it's that you are, and I've done this too, overeating, and your body is screaming to you like, stop, stop, stop. If you take time to sit and set an intention and say like, I choose to care for myself right now. I choose to take care of my body. I find that whenever I set an honest intention towards what it is that I really want, I take that time to like say to the universe, say to my higher power, I need help and I want to do this. Not even I want, because you don't want to manifest or say and set intentions out of I want, but just intend, say I am going to do this. So like I said, if you're overeating, I'm going to take care of my body. And then that's a great way for your body to start to fall in alignment with itself. The second way would be through your mind. So for me, the biggest part of knowing that my mind is out of alignment is when, and this usually shows up when I'm lacking in my meditation or in my taking time for myself. If I'm around too many people too frequently or just too much, I get on system overload. My nervous system is just like, I can't even. And I start feeling irritable and just kind of discontent and snappy. And also when I'm not taking the time to, even if I spend too much time with my own mind, like I said, not meditating and things like that, I just get this irritable kind of place in my life that just, I know that I'm out of alignment. And actually, I have a funny story about this too. And so this goes into another way to tell is that other people are good telltales of if you are honoring yourself or not. So there was one time that I was feeling particularly irritable. And this was actually when I first started my meditation journey. And I was like telling my mom all about it, my family. And I actually had somebody tell me one time that, you can always test your enlightenment or your growth when you put yourself back around your family, because they installed all your buttons. So you can tell where you're at with things. They're good reflections to be able to see how far you've come, because it depends on how quick it gets you to one place from 0 to 60, and how fast. So for me, I was getting really frustrated and really irritated. And my mom actually had been able to notice a difference in my meditation, in the fact that I was meditating in my being. She noticed this change, this difference. So when I got really frustrated and she was able to see that and tell, she was like, Katie, why don't you go do your meditation thing? And I was like, oh yeah, heard. I got to go do that right now. So I went and meditated. But that is another way of being able to tell if your mind is just feeling a little bit off. Maybe you need that chance to step back and take a little bit of time, take a breather. The third way I equate with spirituality, but I think that it can be seen in many different ways. So for me, I would say disconnection of spirit. And the way that shows up for me is through depression. I can frequently hit these, not frequently, actually I'm so much more even keeled than I was years ago. I struggled with huge highs and lows. And I think that's why I had a problem abusing drugs and alcohol, because I was just trying to mask up all of these deep feelings and depressions that I, would hit these low bottoms that I didn't understand what was going on with me. And so it was like, okay, take outside things and fill. So I really think that we have this as a human natural hole that's within us, right? And so we can fill it with our higher self, our spirit, our God self, our, God, higher power, the universe, whatever you want to think of as far as a name goes. And that's what will truly fill it, like wholly. But before we know that, and before we are in tune with practicing that, there's so many other things that we try to fill it with, or at least for me, in my experience, I tried to fill it with so many other things, and it just didn't work, because those things would sit for a little bit and then they would go away. And it was really difficult to maintain these feelings of wanting to just be. So for me, I can really tell that I'm not honoring myself if I feel really low vibration. And so I start doing things to just reconnect myself with spirit. One of my great things that I like doing, this is my number one thing of I'm starting to feel a disconnect, is I start to list gratefuls, gratitudes. I just make a list. I start shouting off all the things that I know that I absolutely should be grateful for in life, because really everything comes down to perspective. And if I'm living in a perspective where I feel like everything is wrong and everything is bad, yeah, it is, because that's what I'm looking at. And I'm not even really considering that there's so many other people or so many other things going on around me that are a million times worse than what my problems are. And that I'm really blessed to even have some of the problems that I have, because it shows that I, am able to live a life that, a beautiful, fulfilled life that is actually creating these things, whether they're problems or not. It's giving it my life weight. It's giving it value, because I can experience the opposite of that too. And then when I take time to step back and change my perspective and look at the things that are really going well in my life, I can truly, truly see that I have just abundance of blessings. And when you focus on those abundance of blessings, guess what? The universe brings you more blessings and more things to be grateful for, because it's like, oh, this gratitude thing, you like this, so let's just keep giving this to you. Let's just keep giving you these beautiful things in your life that you can show that you are appreciative of. So those are 3 ways to really tell if you are honoring yourself or not. These are the ways that I kind of use to check in with myself and see where I'm at. And I hope that was helpful. So I want to challenge everybody out there to unlimit yourself. My name's Katie, and I do Aquarian fire. And so I really believe that, with this modality, it's an unlimited energy modality. And so I really challenge you to unlimit yourself and see yourself in the perspective of that you can do anything, and that you already are everything and have everything that you need. So much love and blessings to you. Namaste. And I will get back with you guys soon.